Barça! Barça! Barça!
Hello and welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. Coming up is the review between Cultural Leonesa and Barcelona in the Copa this evening. We've done it, we've got through it, and if you sat through those 90 minutes, you deserved that last minute goal. Clement Longley, the man who's got it, he said that he wanted to score his first goal in the Clásico against Real Madrid. He nearly managed that. It's one game late, he's got it here, he's off the mark. Barcelona 1, Cultural Leonesa 0. It wasn't fantastic, but there are some conclusions that we can draw from this game, and we're going to be going over all that and more coming right up. Let's do this. So the lineup that Ernesto Valverde did choose for this game was nearly very much as we expected. There was two changes from my team that I picked before the game and Valverde's actual lineup. Sergi Samper came into the team holding in midfield here, and also Denis Suarez playing in midfield as opposed to the front three with Dembele here out to the left. I think it was a bit of a surprising start to see Dembele there playing in this kind of game, but finally there was a much deserved start here for Malcolm, who we were keeping a special eye on, and we're very, very anxious to see what he could do. And the two Barcelona B centre-backs, Tchumi and Cuenca, alongside each other, with Jasper Cillessen starting in goal. And I'll just run you now through the match events, what happened as the game unfolded, and straight away, really, Cultural Leonesa and their fans, about 10,000 there was today inside the stadium, they were straight out the blocks, they were honest, they were very physical, they were straight into their challenges, and only 12 minutes gone, it was Nelson Semedo who was caught dawdling a bit on possession. He didn't really get rid of the ball, he was caught on the ball, closing down by Cultural Leonesa, and it was Jasper Cillessen who was forced into a very, very early save. And I have to say, it's a brilliant, brilliant save. Whenever I watch Jasper Cillessen, he always impresses me. He's an absolutely magnificent backup goalkeeper, and even against the lower team today, we saw him make some really, really big saves. The first one here, getting really low down to his left-hand side, getting out a strong left hand and just putting it around the post. And he was also forced into action just 15 minutes from time, keeping his clean sheet and really, really earning that tonight. There was some good saves in there. He was called into action here. This time the corner came in, it went out to the edge of the box, there was a player there on the edge of the box, he strikes it really, really cleanly, and Cillessen has to be alert, gets a strong right arm this time up to block the shot. It's a central area and a very, very good save against Cillessen, keeping a clean sheet and stopping us from conceding. And very early on as well, I have to draw attention to this, Valverde was probably the angriest I had ever seen him on the touchline as Barcelona coach. And that seems strange given, you know, it's a very early Copa round against a very lowly team in Cultural Leonesa, but he was really, really angry on the touchline. He was marching around, he had gloves on, it was a really cold night tonight there in Leon, and there was basically a succession of fouls right from the off. Like I say, Cultural Leonesa was straight in on us. I think they were really, really physical today and over the top, to be perfectly honest. I think the referee straight away should have clamped down on it. He should have got his cards out earlier, and even throughout the game there was several fouls which should have warranted more, and Valverde very, very angry. Even towards the latter stage of the game, he was so unhappy that he was actually officially warned by the referee. He said, look, any more of this and I might have to send you off. So Valverde showing some emotion, and I think that's good. I want to see that more from him, because clearly he does have a bit of character, so let's see that. Wear your heart on your sleeve a bit more often, because today out there on the touchline, he was leading those younger players, and that's what we want. But it was on the 32nd minute that the unfortunate really did happen, and it all revolved around that man, Sergi Samper. He is so unlucky. I can't stress enough. He has no luck whatsoever. In pre-season, he was waiting to get his chance, waiting for his opportunity at Barcelona after returning from some really unfortunate loan spells with injury, and then in pre-season, he gets injured, he can't take play on the tour, and then he comes home, he waits again for his chance. Finally tonight he gets a game, and 32 minutes in, yet another injury. This time it was discomfort in his left leg. He's going to have more medical tests tomorrow to determine how long he's going to be out for, but coming off the pitch, he was absolutely distraught. He had his face in his hands. Valverde there on the touchline, he actually put his arm around it because he would clearly see Samper was so upset, and then when he went and sat on the bench, he was very, very close to tears. Really unfortunate for Samper, such bad luck. And on in his place then came Carlos Alenia, and I have to say, even though it was very, very unfortunate what happened to Samper, coming on Alenia, he was brilliant, and I have to say, he was probably the best player tonight for Barcelona. He had a really, really positive impact. When he came on, it was almost immediate. The game got a bit quicker. We were playing quicker through midfield. He had a lot more balls into him. He was running. He was trying to drive into the open spaces. And whenever he got the ball, he looked to do something. He looked to be positive. He looked to try and take a risk. That's what you want from your creative midfield players. And he had some really, really nice moments on the night. He had a good shot on goal as well. And Alenia can certainly come out of this game having shown Valverde he's a very bright prospect, one to consider for the first team, and definitely will be banging on the door for minutes as the season goes on and looking to the future. Alongside him in midfield was Arturo Vidal, and I have to have a special mention here for Arturo Vidal because really for me, looking at his performance tonight, the way that he went about his work, he is the model professional. If you're a professional footballer or somebody aspiring to be one, be like Arturo Vidal. Every single game, maximum effort, maximum intensity. It doesn't matter if it's third division, Cultural Leonesa, El Clasico, Champions League final, because there's a guy here, 31 years old, he's played in national team final, he's played in club finals, in big competitions, and here he was today, 30 at Leonesa, still playing at his maximum level. Huge character, huge mentality, and so happy here to see Vidal not going out there with his head down, slump really, why am I playing in this game, I'm better than this. He got his head down, he got on with it, and he did very well in that midfield. And then, of course, we have to come on to the performance of Malcolm, who overall played 80 minutes in total before he was substituted then by Arthur, his compatriot. And I think for Malcolm overall, it was a decent display, nothing incredible. I think every time he got the ball, though, again, like Alenia, he looked to be positive. He looked to sort of give and go with Munir, have a few moments on the turn where he tried to spin his defender. And a lot of times you did see that raw pace and that low centre of gravity. He is good when he's on the ball, he can move it, and he's certainly very good dribbling-wise. But I think really his touch today did let him down quite a few times. Now that might be simply because he's not had minutes, he's not had time on the pitch, he doesn't have that match sharpness, and I think that poor touch is simply down to that being a bit sluggish simply because he's not up to speed right now. That's what this game was for. These 80 minutes I think will help him massively in his development at Barcelona, and most importantly getting him up to speed. That's what he needs right now. The promise is there, but it's quite simple. We have to see Malcolm more often, we've got to see him more consistently if we're going to see his very best level. And then on to Ousmane Dembele, who likewise really had a few bright moments. There was an instant really where the ball was played into him, and it was one little deft touch from the outside of his foot which completely took him away from the onrushing defender. He was closed down, it was a little touch, and he was away. It was magic, it was brilliant. It's what you want to see there from Ousmane Dembele, and you know that he's capable of that kind of quality, but ultimately there wasn't really enough of that tonight. I don't know whether he was maybe not quite up to it, maybe felt like he shouldn't be playing in this kind of game, maybe wasn't the maximum sort of effort that we were seeing from Arturo Vidal, but Dembele tonight, you have to say as well, was involved in the winning goal. And I actually think that every ball Dembele put into the box tonight was a very dangerous one from set pieces. He was putting in some really good deliveries. And you have to say for Longley's goal, he picks him out absolutely brilliantly. It's not your traditional whip into the box. He actually pinpoint accuracy there, picking him out, picking out the head of Longley. And it's a really good header. And with that, we have to come on to the goal, the winning goal, and the first goal for Clement Longley at Barcelona. And it was a really good header because he actually gets the ball, it's in the near post, and he just guides it in. There doesn't seem to be much room there to actually navigate that header into the net, but he does it really well in the final minutes, the last chance of the game pretty much, and he wins the game for us there, giving us an advantage to go back to the Camp Nou and seal this win. But in those final few minutes, it did get actually pretty hectic. Like I say, if you did make it all the way to the end this game, you did get some action at the very end. There was the goal from Longley, and just after that as well, in the closing seconds, there was another chance for the captain on the night, Denis Suarez. He had a chance, a little wide angle there, he was played in, and it was a really good chance to make it 2-0. He puts it across the box, puts it across the goalkeeper, but it is just wide of the target. Didn't quite happen on the night, Denis. Didn't quite happen for him, unfortunately. And like I said, there was a lot of performances out there which were good. I thought Miranda was good, I thought Cuenca and Schumi at the back were pretty good. Schumi probably the better one there out of the Barcelona B-boys. Semedo didn't really play all that well. Maybe didn't feel like he should be playing in this kind of game. But I think overall, Alenia, the star man tonight, Munir didn't really do enough up front. And I think overall, just glad that we come away from that tough away game at a lower league opponent. They can be tricky at times. We've got the win tonight. Longley with the goal and with the performances that he's put in recently for Barcelona. He absolutely deserves that goal. But of course, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of the game tonight? What did you think of our performance? But most importantly, who stood out for you? Was there anybody in there that really did make a point to Valverde to include them in future squads or give them more minutes? And of course, tonight, unfortunate that we didn't see the likes of Ricky Puig. I would have really liked to see him come off the bench. But of course, at the camp now, it's in December now, that second leg, we should see a lot more Barcelona B talents. And unfortunately, there are strict regulations which stipulate how many Barcelona B players you can have on the pitch at one time, which does limit that kind of experimentation. But I'll see you soon, guys, with more videos. I hope you enjoyed tonight's game, seeing some of the fringe players. We'll have to see in the recent weeks to come who is going to make their mark. Has anybody impressed Valverde tonight? I think Alenia would have, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. But until then, as always, Visca el Barça!